Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome to my channel. My name is Stephanie. It's Anya. Today I'm joined by my husband, Anya, and today we're going to be talking about setting goals for the year as a couple. I think that's going to be helpful for people who plan to work with couples, because this is an exercise that I do with my couples very often, and also it's helpful for any couples out there who are looking to kind of build on their life and create the type of life they envision for themselves. And this is something that we've been doing for years, so I thought it'd be a good idea to share it. If you're curious or interested, stay tuned. What's on your mind? So I wanted to do this video today because Dozy made an outline for my channel about goals and dreams. And what was your inspiration behind doing that?
Well, I guess since it's getting close to the end of the year, and every year we usually make New Year's resolutions or new goals and things like that. So I thought it was a good time to reflect on those again, as well as maybe it might be a good idea to maybe help those with thinking of how to create goals or how to approach them and those kind of things. So I thought that kind of productivity would be good to make for a video.
Yeah, I agree, because it's actually something that I work with my clients a lot. And it's funny because you see this kind of content all the time, but I haven't really seen it done where you can do it as a couple. I think a lot of times people get the idea that when they're in a relationship, that part of the compromise that you hear about with relationships requires you to kind of bend on your goals, like as an individual. Like people feel like they have to sacrifice their goals for the sake of the relationship. But I kind of believe, like, if you're in the right relationship, it'll catalyze those goals.
Yeah, you'll help each other grow together. I feel like it expedited.
One thing you guys might not know is, like I talked about, always wanting to become a marriage and family therapist. Since my sophomore year of college, I talked about that in the Quit My Corporate Job to Work for Free video. Yeah. The thing that made me actually go back to school, other than meeting other marriage and family therapists, is when I finally got married. And I was settled, and I felt like comfortable that I could finally start this journey and feel comfortable to see it all the way through. And so in that way, marriage actually helped me be able to achieve these goals. But I was going to also share with you all today some of the goals we've had in previous years, just to give you an idea of the goals that we set, and then now it being the future, how many of those things we were able to achieve. But now let's flip it a little bit and talk about what it looks like to make goals as a couple. Because we have our individual goals, which are important to us because we want to have our own identity outside of the relationship. But it's like, now that you have this relationship, you could possibly have competing commitments, or you can leverage the relationship to actually help you achieve the goals. So this is going to break down into 3 things to think about when you are creating goals as a couple. First thing is, think about what your mission statement would be as a couple. And I have my clients do this all the time, especially when I have couples coming to me bickering about really maybe minor things in comparison to what their overall objective is for the relationship. What would you say are some of our top missions of our relationship when you think about what choices to make throughout the year?
One mission has always been, even before we got married and things like that, was eliminating debt or staying out of debt. So I went to school on scholarship and Pell Grant, so I went to whatever school I could afford, so I didn't want to take out any loans and those kind of things. Another one is we also saved money while we were still living with our parents so we can afford to get a house, and we knew that getting a house would be another debt for us, but we were trying to keep it that's the only debt we'll have. We both bought our cars used, those kind of things, and basically the main focus was just paying down on our principal every year, and that was been our focus, just to get that all the way paid off. Our joint mission together was basically stay debt free or get debt free.
And all of our goals are not around money. I would say if we had a motto, for us, it's always been preparation over rushing. When we were dating, we were together for a long time before we got married, and people would always say y'all need to get married and everything, but we knew that we wanted a certain foundation to get married. We wanted to be able to move into our own home when we got married. We wanted to be able to, I started school the same year that we got married. We paid out of pocket for me to go to school for a vast majority of the time when I was there. And so all of those things, we wanted to have the foundation for it, and a lot of times it does boil down to finances, so it is very important for us to keep those things in mind when we are trying to make decisions about how to spend our money or how not to spend our money.
Right. Like I say, also another mission of ours is for us both to excel in our careers. You know, both of us deciding what our careers, where we want them to be, and helping each other get to that point of making it in our industries.
So yeah, think about what your mission statement is as a couple and allow that to kind of guide some of the decisions that you make throughout the year, and allow it to guide the goals that you set for yourselves as a couple for the year. That really leads to my next point, which is think of how you can support one another in those individual goals. So as you're cultivating them, you as a partner should be thinking, how do I fit into the picture? How can I support them in achieving these goals? So for example, starting this YouTube channel, right? It was something that I wanted to do, something that I knew that I could do skill-wise on the therapy side, but the video and film side, that's not my thing. So my husband, knowing that that was something that I wanted to do for a long time, is like, well, hey, I can bring the video skills, the lighting skills, the photography skills for thumbnails and promotion. He really said, okay, I'm going to, and then even now this year, he's gotten so into the channel. Yeah. Like his role has really expanded, and you know, like I said, he started out this outline for this video, or like sometimes he'll help me with responses and things like that when I get questions. He helps me think about how to have more of a business mindset with certain things and create boundaries since I'm doing so much. So all of those different things are ways that you can think, what skills do I have that I can help my partner. He had the goal this year of making a short film. If you haven't seen our short film, The Perfect Husband, by the way, definitely check it out on his channel. But my goal was to figure out how can I fit into that, and one thing I could bring to it is acting. I'm comfortable acting and helping him act. So I might not be able to set up the perfect shot and things like that. I can support in whatever other way that I can to help him see that goal to fruition. And
you're willing, so it's like, even those tasks that you haven't done before, like operating, you know, a camera for me or different things like that, you're definitely able to jump right in and like, hey, I'll figure it out. I'll get the shot that you need to get, standing on chairs and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. So, you know, it's good to have that.
And then the last thing I want you to think about when you're creating goals as a couple, and this is really, really important, is consider the things that can get in your way. Think about what usually gets in your way, right? Because we're the type, you know, we'll have certain goals, you know, like fitness goals, but the problem is we're both foodies. Yeah. So, you know, how can we navigate that? How can we have a plan where we're still able to explore and enjoy food while also still tending to fitness goals? That's always a challenge for us, so we know that.
Yeah.
Another thing would be like a fear of rejection on my end, for example, right? Like with this YouTube channel, one thing that's kept me from doing it years past is being afraid that nobody would find it helpful, nobody would care, nobody would watch. And my husband being like, hey, you have the skills, being a listening ear. When I first started out, I would literally practice every video in front of him just before I got into the camera, you know, and those kind of things are ways that we can just think about the things that could get in our way. Poor planning. Poor planning is like, you know, when we have those financial goals, you know, let's say we're traveling, we haven't created a plan or a budget for traveling, just spending a lot of money, then we know that, okay, we have a tendency of overspending when we're not budgeting. So we started what we call the Anya budget.
Yeah.
And so we'll trademark Anya budget. Yeah. And we just go ahead and put everything that we anticipate, the expenses like our groceries, our meals, then we'll even put in entertainment and things like that. We decide for the month, how strict do we want to be? Do we want to not go out at all? You know, this year was easy because we literally pretty much stayed in our house 85% of the year. But those kind of things are things that you want to think about. You know, what is your mission statement? How can you support one another? You know, you don't want to be thinking, how can my partner support me? You want to be thinking, how can I support my partner? Because you can't make them do something, but you can get it fixed in your mind that you want to do something for them, right? Lead by example. And then lastly, thinking about, you know, what could get in your way and making a plan around that, being realistic and honest with yourselves about your strengths and your weaknesses. You know, my husband is so on top of like paying bills, for example. You know, I can say I want to do that, but we know the few bills that I'm in charge of, we make sure it's the things that really don't have a deadline, because like I just have so many other things in my mind. It's not what I'm thinking about, but for him, he's amazing at that. Those different things that you want to think about, what could get in your way and how you can best support each other. These are how we accomplish our goals, and I just wanted to share with you guys some of our goals over the past years. If you're curious, we usually don't have an extensive list. We usually try to limit ourselves to just a few, and then we'll have our own individual goals we might write somewhere else, but I always keep them. I have like a little tab in here. This is a notebook that his dad gave me the first day I met him, actually. In 2016, our goal was for Endos to land a job where he could get a certain amount of money. We wanted to find a house. Now keep in mind, at this point, he still is working like minimum wage.
Yeah, still working a part-time job at the school.
Yeah, I was, you know, we were both living with our parents.
Right.
This stuff would sound unrealistic, but we just kept it limited to 5 goals. And we just said we're just going to put them down, right? And so find a house, engaged, buy a house. So put find and buy, 2 separate things, right? And then begin paying more bills, because it was like we weren't even confident we were gonna have the house, but we're like, if anything, let's start trying to pay more bills.
Yeah.
By the end of 2016, not only were we engaged, we were married. We bought the house. We were paying all the bills, and we were doing that because Ndosi was able to secure a job where he was making that limit, more than that limit. But that's all, we just put the bare minimum.
Right.
So that's an example of our goals in 2016.
Another great thing too is like I was able to get a job in the field that I wanted to work in, so it was also working towards 2 goals at the same time, so that was great.
Then 2017, once we're married, our goal was to take an international trip or vacation together. I wanted to finish at least 5 graduate courses. I ended up finishing way more than that, but again, just not knowing what it was going to be like to be in school and be working full time, I just said something that I could be proud of. I don't go overboard with it. And Dosi wanted to secure another job at that point, so we put that on the list. And we wanted to, at that point, become more involved in church. And so we were able to do all of those things that year as well. So I'm looking at all the check boxes. Now, there have been years where we've gone too crazy and not been able to do everything. But I feel like it's always better when we can have a shorter list, because it gives us a lot more focus on what we want to do that year.
Right.
So it doesn't have to be a crazy amount, guys. Just because it's a year long goal doesn't mean it has to be an overwhelming amount of goals. It just needs to be something that you are focusing on, and I think the shorter the better, because you can put all of your energy into those few goals together.
Yeah, and it always feels good to show some form of little improvement from year to year, so it's always good to do that.
Things we were like dreaming about 4 years ago are things that are just part of our everyday life now.
Right.
So we hope that this helps you as you think about how to collaborate with your partner, married or not, on creating new goals, or working with your clients who are couples to help them kind of see each other as a team and not look at the relationship as an enemy to their goals. We should look at the relationship as a catalyst for their goals. And guys, I do want to give you a little update on my channel as we're talking about goals. My goal for this year was to make videos all the way through the year. And I did. I started at the beginning of March, and here we are, the last Monday of December. I made a goal that I wouldn't miss a single Monday, and I'm so proud to say that with us working together, we were able to achieve that goal. But in 2021, one of my goals is going to be to just, not feel as overwhelmed, or I guess I don't want to use the word obligated, but like, even though nobody's making me do this, I'm just the kind of person, if I do set a goal for myself, like I'm a slave to that goal, and I'm just like, I have to get something out, I have to get something out. And that's the thing, it's like, it's a good thing to be consistent, but it does put a little pressure on me. And there have been times where Ndosi would be like, okay babe, like it's whatever day of the week, like, are you gonna film a video? And I'm like so triggered about it, like, don't ask me that, because I'm just trying to enjoy, or like the fact that I got a video of the past Monday, not realizing the next Monday's up closer than the past one was. So what I'm going to be doing is, you might see a little less consistency from me. I still definitely intend to create videos, but don't be alarmed if I go a while without posting. I think I'm definitely going to take maybe the whole month of January off. I don't know though, you guys. I'm just one of those people that it's like, I think I want a break, and then when I'm taking the break, I really didn't want a break. So just bear with me and be flexible with the new upload schedule. It's going to probably be a bit more sporadic, but I'm just super proud to say that I didn't miss a Monday all of this year, and I thank you so much for your continued support of the channel, and I just look forward to whatever requests you come up with next year. I love answering your requests. That's my favorite type of video to do, by the way, are the things that you all suggest, because I know that it's something that you want. So please, even if you don't see a video from me, feel free to, you know, contact me via Instagram or on a YouTube video letting me know your request. And, you know, a good request comes by, I'll probably just go ahead and film it that day. So if I get a bunch of suggestions, probably higher likelihood of getting a new video. I hope you can bear with me and be flexible as we kind of move to a less consistent uploading schedule. Again, my name is Stephanie Gates Anya, Steph Anya for short. I appreciate you for watching this video. I ask that you like it, subscribe to my channel. You can turn on the post notifications if you want to know every time I upload, and please share this video as well. I appreciate you especially for watching all the way until the end of the video. Thank you.